G'day, good morning, how you going? It's Roger Roadside here saying, Struth, 100-ton Fatberg found in London sewers in Whitechapel. What the F, guys? What the actual F? 100 tons. I've been close to that weight myself, but 100 tons, that's huge. That is huge. Now, for those that aren't aware, a Fatberg is formed typically in sewers when people pour down things like cooking oil and fats and lard and all that sort of stuff. A lot of people who just I was always raised to know that the sink is not the rubbish bin. You can't just I remember living with a few people who just thought that the sink was, you just pour it down there. You cook up your fried chicken and stuff like that, and then you take your chicken out, you've got some leftover fat and greasy bits in there, you just pour them down the sink, turn the tap on, bish bash bosh, problem solved. No, the sink is not a rubbish bin. But it's mainly formed by that, but also things like wet wipes and stuff being disposed incorrectly, being disposed most likely in the loos. I don't know. Look, I remember there being a little bit of a thing about, do you wipe your backside with a wet wipe? Oh, it's so luxurious. I've never done it before, but I did have a electrical B-day thing when I lived in South Korea for a few months and in China for a few months, and in the hotels there they would have these toilets that were basically, they had like the remotes on both sides, and they all did like weird and wonderful things. This is not the street I wanted to turn down, but that was an experience. But I've never wiped my backside with a wet wipe, but apparently there's a lot of people that do that, and they do it within the Whitechapel region. Look, I think it's not necessarily a question, this video. Most of my videos have sort of been a video in regards to what are your thoughts on that. I guess you can put your thoughts on the 100-ton Fatberg. I just thought it was an interesting little story. Have you seen a Fatberg before? I thought I did a bit of digging around into the area of Whitechapel, because I kind of thought, why is it Whitechapel? Why is that area? I know that there's Fatbergs found in London on a somewhat regular. I think the last one was found in 2017, I think, off memory. So somewhat regularly. Every 5 to 10 years they find a Fatberg in the sewage system. But I would wonder whether or not it's something that is becoming more and more popular. Well, I say more and more popular, but I wonder if, as the years go on, whether it's quicker between Fatberg findings because of society, I guess. I guess if you, like I said, I was raised to know that sinks were not a rubbish disposal unit, and and not to wipe my backside with wet wipes and flush it down the toilets. But different cultures, different people. I know the Whitechapel area, if we have a look at the demographics there, according to AI, this is not me, this is according to AI, very large Bangladeshian population in Whitechapel. So is it a situation whereby and apparently also it's a very big renters community, so not a lot of homeowners, and there's a difference between homeowners and a difference between renters, because for the simple fact that when you own your own home, anything that goes wrong, you have to fix it. If the outside looks terrible, it's your home. People are more house proud when they own the property. if they're just renting, or if it's a HMO, or if it's, you know, social housing or stuff like that, something goes wrong, you call the landlord, and you know, you stomp your feet and it gets fixed. So that's the difference. So, but I wonder whether perhaps the large percentage of people that rent there, perhaps maybe the demographic of people that live there, whether or not things like Fatbergs are going to be more and more of a problem and an issue. Look, who knows? I'll let you know. When I woke up today, I did not think I would be talking about Fatbergs, but here we are. Listen, what are your thoughts? Do you think Fatbergs may potentially become a problem? Do you think it's a cultural thing? Do you think it's just by chance that 100-ton Fatberg was found in Whitechapel, in the sewers of Whitechapel? What are your thoughts on the situation? Make sure you get it below. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. It really helped me out. I've got a target, guys. I've got a target. I'm almost like I'm a real YouTuber. I've got a target to get 50 subscribers by the 2nd of February. That's my birthday, okay? Please, just give me the gift. Give me the gift of subscribers. I just need 50. If you can give me 50 subscribers by the 2nd of February, that would be much appreciated, because then I can start streaming and I can have you out with me on the road. You can be in my pocket, not for when I'm streaming, but I'll put it in this little holder thing that I've got. But you know, it'll just be a nice feeling to be carrying around in my pocket 50 friends that I know that at any point in time I can get out and start streaming, and we can have a chat and all that sort of jazz. So, you know, look, I'd like to get to a stage where we can have a chin wag together, have a bit of a laugh. We can talk about what we, you know, because I'm out on the road all the time. So if you like, you know, country, well, I mean, I'm in the country a lot of the times, but at the moment I'm in sunny Edmonton. Look at this. This place is, wow. This is a lovely area. But yeah, get your thoughts down below, subscribe, and catch you on the flippity flop.